Yes, beta, if you have any problem, you can ask for the previous part. Otherwise, we'll continue with the next part. Okay. Yes, Manya Manchanda. Yes, beta. What do you want to ask?
Ma'am, in the paragraph, but he laughed to himself as he went away, and the blacksmith who knew him understood very well that he had not said his last word.
Was about the honor of the mill. When he went away, he told the blacksmith that this captain, he called him as captain. So he wanted to stay there, did not want to go along with him, and he'll be comfortable here. But blacksmith understood that his master what he wanted to say because he does not mean it. According to him, it means that he would not be comfortable, but as the person was not willing to go along with him, so he said in a funny way that he would be comfortable here. And he addressed him as captain. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Any other problem to anyone else? We have reached to the point when we've seen that the daughter Edla Manson, she reached there and she convinced him somehow, and he was ready. He got so confident that he got ready to go along with Edla to the farmhouse of the Iron Master, and she had a doubt that man. She was so keen observer that she noticed immediately that the man was afraid of something. Either he had stolen something or he had run away from the jail. But even then, she did not say anything. She just convinced him that he should come along with them to celebrate Christmas, and after that, he can go if he wished to. And what happened next day? We see that when he went along with Edla to their farmhouse, it was the Christmas Eve, and they were preparing for the Christmas celebrations. All the dishes were prepared, and when she was getting the breakfast table ready, the Iron Master was very happy to have the company of his old regimental friend who had come there, who had run across so unexpectedly, means without any hope, without any expectations, he had come there. And he was happy that he had the company of his friend. So we were here on the last lines of page 38. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table. And then we must see that he gets something else to do than this selling of the rat tracks. So the Iron Master was planning that they would do for his health, they would work for his health so that he should get good health, and after that they will give him some work also so that he can uh, do some work for his surviving and he need not to sell the rat traps. Coming to the next page, from here we have to start. It is queer that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. Now, the girl was in doubt. Earlier, also, we have seen that she was having doubt about his honesty, that he was a thief either or he had run away from the jail. Now, she felt very strange how the things had gone downhill, with how the situation had become worse for this peddler. And now she felt that last night I did not think that there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. She had a doubt that he was an educated man. उसको अभी भी doubt हो रहा था that he was not the same man as her father had thought, that he was an old regimental comrade and he was a captain in the army. She was not believing all these things because she had a doubt that the man was not an educated one. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see some different. And the father was telling her that she should be patient. When she told all this to her father, father just told her that she should be patient. When he would be clean, when he would be dressed properly, he would be a different man. According to him, that he was wearing ragged clothes, he was not in good condition, having long beard. That's why she felt that he was not an educated one. So the father told that she must have some patience. Last night he was naturally embarrassed. The tramp manner will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. And father just told the girl that last night he was very much embarrassed. He was ashamed of his condition. So when he would be dressed up properly, he would be clean, that all the tramp manners will fall away. That means all the manners or behavior of the tramp wanderer that will go away. मतलब he will behave in a proper manner. उसका कहने का मतलब ये है कि जब वो अच्छे से ड्रेसअप हो जाएगा, नहा धो लेगा, अपनी बियर्ड शेव कर लेगा, तो वो अच्छे से बिहेव करेगा. अभी उसके मैनर्स जो हैं वो एक ट्रैम्प की तरह हैं, पेडलर की, वॉन्डरर की तरह हैं. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. कि जैसे ही उसने ये बात कही, जैसे वैसे ही दरवाजा खुला और stranger enter हुआ. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. अब वो अच्छे से साफ सुथरा था, नहा धोकर आया था, अच्छे से ड्रेसअप होकर आया था. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair, shaved him. उसकी सर्वेंट ने हेल्प करी थी उसको नहाने धोने में, उसके बाल काटने में, उसकी शेविंग करने में. Moreover, he was dressed in a good-looking suit of clothes which belonged to the iron master, and he was wearing good clothes of the iron master. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and gold shoes. उसने white shirt पहनी हुई थी, starched collar और shoes पहने हुए थे. That means he was properly dressed up now. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the iron master did not seem pleased. लेकिन जैसे ही वो enter करा, the guest was now well groomed. That means he was having good personality now. He was wearing clean clothes. He was properly dressed up, clean and shaved. But the iron master was not happy. He looked at him with puckered brow, and it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. He looked at him with a puckered brow. Puckered brow means थोड़ा सा irritated way में अपने eyebrows को उठाते हुए वो उसको देख रहा है. And it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection from the furnace में जब उसने forge के अंदर उसको furnace की भट्टी की light के अंदर reflection में देखा था, and he might have made a mistake. He had made a mistake. तो अब उसको महसूस हो रहा था कि जब उसने उस भट्टी के रिफ्लेक्शन की लाइट में उसको देखा था तो उससे गलती हो गई उसको पहचानने में. But that now when he stood there in broad daylight, और अब जब वो उसको दिन की रोशनी में देख रहा है, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. और उसको क्या लग रहा था कि अब वो अपना उसका ओल्ड एक्वेंटेंस नहीं था, मतलब उसका पुरानी जान पहचान वाला व्यक्ति नहीं था. इट वॉज इम्पॉसिबल टू मिस्टेक. अब गलती करना पॉसिबल नहीं था उसके लिए. इट वॉज इम्पॉसिबल टू मिस्टेक हिम फॉर एन ओल्ड एक्वेंटेंस. कि अब वो नहीं कह सकता था कि वो उसका पुराना कोई जान पहचान वाला है. बिकॉज ही कैन सी in the clear daylight that he was not the same man what he had considered. उसने क्या समझा था उसको कि वो नील जॉर्ज है, रेजिमेंटल कॉमरेड है उसका, कोई उसका कंपेनियन है जो कि आर्मी में काम करता था और उसने रिजाइन कर दिया था बिकॉज ही वाज आल्सो इन आर्मी. But now he was easily able to recognize him, identify him that he was not the same man. What does this mean? He thundered. तो वो एकदम से चिल्लाते हुए गरजते हुए उसको बोला. इसका क्या मतलब है? The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. लेकिन stranger ने आगे से कोई कोशिश नहीं करी कि वो उसके आगे से बहस करे या उसके साथ कुछ डिस्कशन करे. Dissimulate means to discuss or to have any argument. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. और उसने एकदम से ये महसूस करा देखा कि अब जो उसकी शानो शौकत थी वो एकदम से खत्म होने जा रही थी. बिकॉज ही वॉज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि अब यहाँ उसको कुछ अच्छा मिलेगा, उसको कुछ पैसे मिल जाएंगे या उसको कुछ वो आयरन मास्टर जो है उसकी हेल्प करेगा किसी तरीके से. बट नाउ ही फेल्ट दैट एवरीथिंग हैड कम टू एन एंड. इट्स नॉट माय फॉल्ट सर, ही सेड. और क्या कहता है कि ये मेरी कोई गलती नहीं है इसमें. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the fort. She says I never pretended कि मैंने कोई ऐसा excuse नहीं बनाया था. मैं तो यही बता रहा था कि I am a poor trader and made request and he pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. और वो इसी चीज पे compel कर रहा था कि वो forge में ही रहेगा, वो वहीं पर ही रहेगा. He did not want to go to the manor house. But no harm has been done. कहता मैंने कोई नुकसान नहीं किया. एट फर्स्ट आई कैन पुट ऑन माय रैग्स एंड अगेन एंड गो अवे. तो सब ज्यादा से ज्यादा यही हो सकता है ना कि मैं आपके कपड़े जो पहने हैं मैं उतार देता हूँ और अपने रैग्स फटे हुए कपड़े पहन लेता हूँ एंड देन आई गो अवे फ्रॉम दैट. आई हैव नॉट गिवन एनी हार्म टू यू and I did not want to be pretend anything. I told you very clearly that I'm a poor trader. Well, said the iron master, hesitating a little. It was not quite honest either. Hesitatingly because he felt that it was not his mistake, so he was hesitating. And even then he said that you were not honest. You must admit that. I should not be surprised. तुम्हें ये admit करना होगा. And I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. Then Iron Master just gave him a threatening that he must admit that I should not be surprised if the sheriff would not like to have something to say in the matter. If he called the sheriff, sheriff means the person who is working in their area for the security purpose. जैसे हमारे पुलिस के लोग होते हैं ऐसे ही वहां पर शेरिफ होते थे उस टाइम पे. तो क्या कह रहा है कि अगर मैं शेरिफ को बुलाऊं मींस उसकी रिपोर्ट करूं कि उसने मेरे साथ झूठ बोला है या वो डिसऑनेस्टी कर रहा है, तो यू शुड नॉट बी सरप्राइज्ड. मतलब उसको धमकी दे रहा है दैट आई विल कॉल द शेरिफ एंड आई विल hand over you to the police, to the jail. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. But now the tramp was very angry. He took a step forward and he started striking on the table with his fist. Because according to him, he had not made any mistake, he had not spoken any, told any lie, and he had not pretended. I neither say yes, neither not no. He did not say any answer when the Iron Master called him as Lee's Olf. Now I'm going to tell you, Mr. Iron Master, how things are, he said. And now he also started speaking in loud voice and he just challenged Mr. Iron Master, saying, Mr. Iron Master, I'm going to tell you how things are. What is the reality? He says this whole world is nothing but a big crack trap. All the good things that are offered to you are nothing but cheese rinds and bits of coal set out to drag a poor fellow. Again, he gives his own ideas. He says this whole world is nothing but a big rat trap, and all the good things that are offered to you are nothing but they are just cheese rinds and bits of coal. जैसे कि बेट रखा हुआ है खाने के लिए रैट के सामने, ऐसे ही कहता है ये भी चीज के टुकड़े हैं. Set out to drag a poor fellow. It is only to attract the poor people into trouble. And if the sheriff comes now and locks me up for this, then you, Mr. Iron Master, must remember that a day may come when you yourself may want to get a big piece of pork, and then you will get caught in the trap. He also threatened Iron Master. He says, if you call sheriff, you will hand me over to the sheriff. They will lock me in the bars, and then, Mr. Iron Master, you must remember this thing that there will be one day when you will also be caught. You may want to get a big piece of pork. That means you will also be attracted by the bait and you will be caught. Then you will be caught in the trap. That means this bird is a rat trap, and if I had been caught in this trap, one day will come when you will also be trapped in that. He just made the Iron Master realize this thing. The Iron Master began to laugh. He was surprised also to listen this philosophical idea of this peddler or the rat trap seller, and he started laughing. That was not so badly said, my good fellow. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. Iron Master was little bit relaxed now. He also understood that this paddler is threatening him, challenging him. So he was not having bad behavior now. He said that was not so bad. He said, my good fellow. He addressed him now as good fellow. He says, I have not said in that bad way as you have taken. Perhaps we should let the sheriff alone on Christmas Eve. We should not call the sheriff on the Christmas Eve. And in a very funny way, he said that we should leave sheriff alone and he should not be invited to accompany us on the Christmas Eve. But now get out of here as fast as you can. आप कहता है यहाँ से जितनी जल्दी हो सकता है यहाँ से चले जाओ. This peddler was challenging him, threatening him. So the Iron Master just changed his idea and started saying that he was not saying in that bad manner, and we should not call the sheriff, and he should be kept alone on the Christmas Eve. He should not come here to company, but now get out of here as fast as you can. And he told the peddler that he should leave immediately that place. But just as the man was opening the door, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. I don't want him to go. And with that, she went and closed the door. See here the sympathetic nature and the behavior of Edla Wilmanson, Iron Master's daughter. When Iron Master was telling him to go away immediately, the daughter did not want, Atla did not want, because she has prepared the supper, she has prepared the meal for the Christmas, and she wanted that someone should be there to share with them and enjoy that. Because जो कुक होता है ना उसको तभी मजा आता है उस खाने को बनाने का अगर कोई खाने वाला हो और उस खाने की कोई प्रेज करे. And she was not willing that he should go there from that place without eating anything, hungry. एंड दिस इज अनदर ह्यूमैनिटेरियन नेचर कि अगर आपके घर में कोई भूखा आया है या कोई भी आया है तो उसको खाना खिलाए बिना नहीं भेजना है. So we have the character of this girl as a very compassionate, kind, and generous humanitarian, just like the religious person. So she said, just as the man was opening the door, as he was going out, the daughter said, I think he ought to stay with us today. And she just told her father that I want that he should stay here today. I don't want him to go. And with that, she went and closed the door. And then she immediately went towards the door and she closed the door. And she did not allow that man to go out. What in the world are you doing? Said the father. But father was not willing. He stopped the girl. He said that this is not right. She's doing something wrong. The daughter stood there quite embarrassed and hardly knew what to answer. Was very much standing embarrassed and confused what to do, and she did not have any answer because she also knew this thing. She had realized that the man was either a thief or he had stolen the money or run away from the prison. And that morning she had felt so happy when she thought how home-like and Christmassy she was. So she did not want. Yes, the girl was standing very much embarrassed and she had no answer because that morning she was feeling very happy because she thought of home like and Christmassy she was going to make things for the poor hungry wretch. She was feeling very happy that she was preparing some dishes for a man who was hungry. कि किसी भूखे को खिलाना जो है, this is also considered in our culture, the traditions, a very pious thing और पवित्र और अच्छा माना जाता है humanitarian grounds के ऊपर. So she was feeling very happy on the Christmas Eve. She was preparing dishes and she would serve all these dishes to a poor hungry man. She could not get away from the idea all at once, and she could not come out of this idea कि ऐसा हो जाए कि उसने खाना prepare करा है और वो खाने वाला है ही नहीं वहाँ पर. She did not want this thing to happen. And that was why she had interceded for the vagabond. And this was the reason that she was coming in between her father and the vagabond. She was coming in between. That means father was willing that he should go, whereas she wanted that he should stay there at least for the Christmas. I'm thinking of the stranger here, said the young girl. He walks and walks the whole year long, and there's probably not a single place in the whole country where he's welcome and can feel at home. She just told her father that I'm thinking only of this stranger, that he kept on walking for the whole year here and there, and no one welcomes him anytime, and he's never at home, never at comfortable situation. He's very poor person and roaming here and there selling the things and earning. Wherever he turns, he's chased away, and wherever he goes, people just chased away, send him back. Always he's afraid of being arrested and cross-examined, and always he had the fear that he would be arrested and he would be cross-examined. People will ask him questions, inquire from him. I should like to have him enjoy a day of peace with us here, just one in the whole year. And she just made a request to her father that he should be allowed at least to stay there for one day in that whole year, where when he can enjoy the meal with them and have full food for the day. The Iron Master mumbled. See, here we come to know about the humanitarian and the Christian qualities uh, implicated in this girl, and she did not want that the man should go hungry from their home on that special day of Christmas. The Iron Master mumbled something in his beard. He just scratched in his beard, said some words in whispering sound. He could not bring himself to oppose her, and he could not oppose his daughter. अपनी daughter को वो oppose नहीं कर सकता था इस चीज में, as she had so much convincing power. She convinced the peddler also and brought him to her home, and now she had convinced her father also. It was all a mistake, of course, she continued. But anyway, I don't think we ought to chase away a human being whom we have asked to come here and to whom we have promised Christmas cheer. She again tried to clarify to her father that it was all a mistake. By mistake, आपने उसको नहीं solve समझा, and he invited him for the Christmas Eve. And now I don't want that we should send this man on the as a human being whom we have asked to come here to have Christmas celebrations with us, and we have promised him to enjoy Christmas with us, and we cannot send that man in this way, not having any food. You do preach worse than a parson, said the Iron Master. I only hope you won't have to regret this. But the Iron Master, who had no answer for the girl, he only said, you do preach worse than a parson. That means parson होता है religious person, जैसे priest वगैरह होते हैं मंदिर वगैरह में, या ऐसे ही चर्च के अंदर होते हैं पार्सन वगैरह. तो what the father says, you do preach worse than a parson, कि आप पार्सन से बुरा preach नहीं करते हो, मतलब आप भी एक प्रीस्ट की तरह या एक पार्सन की तरह ही लोगों को शिक्षा देते हो. जैसे वो टीचिंग्स देते हैं, लोगों को गाइड करते हैं, वैसे ही आपकी भी टीचिंग्स हैं, उपदेश देते हो. एंड आई ओनली होप दैट यू शुड नॉट हैव टू रिग्रेट, कि आपको बाद में पछताना ना पड़े इसको घर रख कर. मतलब उसके माइंड में क्या आ रहा था, दैट ही इज अ थीफ, and if they keep him in their house, that can cause problem to them. He can steal the things from their home also. So he was worried, and he warned the girl that he need not to regret after this. The young girl took the stranger by the hand and led him up to the table. Stranger का उसने हाथ से पकड़ा और उसको टेबल तक ले जाती है. Now sit down and eat, she said, for she could see that her father had given in, and she noted that her father had given in. Father was not adamant now, he had agreed, he was quiet now. So she told the stranger to sit down and eat. The man with the red trap said not a word, and the man was quiet. He did not say anything, did not speak even a single word. He only sat down and helped himself to the food, and sitting on the table, helped himself to food means he started eating food, helped himself, अपने आप को खाना खिलाया, मतलब he started eating. Time after time, he looked at the young girl who had interceded for him, Why had she done it? What could the crazy idea be? Rather, he was very much surprised. He was wondered why this girl had done like this, why she had come in between him and her father. उसके फादर के और उसके बीच में इंटरसीडेड मींस इन बिटवीन वो क्यों आई, व्हाई शी स्टॉप्ड हिम, व्हाई हैड शी डन इट, कि उसने ऐसा क्यों किया कि फादर के कहने के बावजूद भी उसने उसको रोक लिया. व्हाट कुड द क्रेजी आइडिया बी, इसके पीछे क्या पागलपन है, क्या क्रेजी आइडिया है, क्यों उसने ऐसा करा. ही वाज वेरी मच सरप्राइज्ड एंड एक्साइटेड टू नो दिस. आफ्टर दैट Christmas Eve at Remstrow passed just as it always had. After that, Christmas Eve at Ramsrow passed as usual. The Christmas celebrations were there. The stranger did not cause any trouble because he did nothing but sleep. And the stranger here means the peddler or the red trap seller. He did not cause any problem to anyone because most of the time he kept on sleeping. He did not do anything. The whole forenoon he lay on the sofa in one of the guest rooms and slept at one stretch. और पूरी आफ्टरनून वो सोफा के ऊपर वहाँ गेस्ट रूम में लेटा रहा and slept at one stretch, and continuously he was sleeping there. At noon, they woke him up so that he could have his share of the good Christmas fare, and afternoon में उन्होंने उसको जगाया so that he could have his meal at the Christmas fair. But after that, he slept again, but once again he went to sleep. It seemed as though for many years he had not been able to sleep as quietly and safely as here at Ramsrow. And it seemed कि वो शायद काफी सालों से बहुत देर से अच्छे से सोया ही नहीं था इतनी क्वाइटली और सेफली सुरक्षित तरीके से जैसे कि वो वहां पर उनके घर में सो रहा था. So most of the time he was sleeping. He did not cause any trouble to anyone. In the evening, when the Christmas tree was lighted, they woke him up again. फिर से evening में उसको जगाया गया when the Christmas tree was lighted and they started celebrating. And he stood for a while in the drawing room, blinking as though the candlelight hurt him. और आंखें झपकते हुए क्योंकि वो काफी देर सोने के बाद उठा था. ड्राइंग रूम की लाइट से थोड़ी उसको प्रॉब्लम फील हो रही थी. He was just blinking his eyes, but after that it disappeared again. फिर से वहां से disappear हो गया. 2 hours later, he was aroused once more. और 2 घंटे के बाद उसको फिर से उठाया गया. He then had to go down to the dining room and eat the Christmas fish and porridge. फिर से नीचे गया वो डाइनिंग रूम में and he had his meal, Christmas fish and porridge. As soon as they got up from the table, he went around to each one present and said thank you and good night. As they all had their dinner, and when they got up from the table, he went around and he went to each one present there, said thank you and good night. But when he came to the young girl, she gave him to understand that it was her father's intention that the suit which she wore was to be a Christmas present. And when he came to the young girl, she just gave her this feeling that the dress which he was wearing, it was her father's intention that it should be given as a Christmas present to him. The dress he was wearing of the Iron Master, it must be considered as a Christmas present. He did not have to return it, and if he wanted to spend next Christmas Eve in a place where he could rest in peace and be sure that no evil would befall him, he would be welcomed back again. And even the girl welcomed him for the next Christmas Eve, and she offered that if he wanted to rest in peace and he's sure that no evil would happen with him, he would be welcome on the next Christmas Eve also. That means she offered that if he wanted to spend the next Christmas Eve there, he must be welcome. He could come there next year also for the Christmas celebrations. So the dress was given of Iron Masters as Christmas gift, and he was offered to come next year also. The man with the red traps did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the young girl in boundless amazement. The man did not answer. He was just looking at the girl, staring at the girl in boundless amazement. That means great amazement. Wondered, हैरान हुआ, परेशान हुआ. वो सुनता जा रहा था और देखता जा रहा था कि why the girl was so kind to her, why she was showing this much kindness and generosity to her. The next morning, the Iron Master and his daughter got up in the good season to go Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep and they did not disturb him. Next morning, क्या देखते हैं? The iron master and his daughter, they got up in good mood and to go to the early Christmas service. They have to go to the church for the Christmas service. Their guest was still asleep. Guest here, the stranger or the iron master, this Rattrap seller, he was still sleeping and they did not disturb him. When about 10 o'clock they drove back from the church, a young girl sat and hung her head even more. About 10 o'clock, when they came back, drove back from the church, the young girl sat and hung her head even more dejectedly than usual. She was just sitting in a very sad mood and dejectedly in depression. At church, she had learned that one of the old crofters of the ironworks had been robbed by a man who went around selling traps. Because at the church, they came to know that there was one person who had robbed the old crofter of the ironwork, and the person was selling red traps. They came to know this from the church. The church में ये न्यूज़ थी कि एक आदमी रेड ट्रैप बेच रहा था. उसने आयरन वर्क मिल में काम करने वाले एक क्रॉफ्टर को रॉब कर लिया है. Yes, that was a fine fellow. You let into the house, said her father. Her father जो थे उसको टॉन्ट कर रहे थे बेटी को एट 11 months ago that he was the man and you considered him as a fine fellow and you allowed him to come to your home. Stay there. I only wonder how many silver spoons are left in the cupboard by this time. And he was worried that now they were in the church and in their bag after them he might have stolen their silver spoons from the cupboard. क्योंकि cupboard से उन्होंने silver spoon चोरी करके वो भाग गया होगा. They were worried because the iron master and his daughter they both were in the church and they had this news in the church that there was a rat trap seller who had stolen the money from the crofter of the iron work, the old crofter of the iron work. So he was worried that he might have stolen things from their home also. The wagon had hardly stopped at the front steps when Iron Master asked the valet whether the stranger was still there. और वो जल्दी से चर्च से वापस आए and they inquired from their valet, their servant, whether the stranger was still there or he had gone. He added that he had heard at church that the man was a thief. ने बताया अपने सर्वेंट को कि उन्होंने चर्च में सुना है कि वो आदमी thief है. The valet answered that the fellow had gone and that he had not taken anything with him at all. नौकर क्या बताता है उनको servant that he had gone but he had not taken anything. On the contrary, he had left behind a little package which Miss Wilmanson was to kind enough to accept as a Christmas present. And he told that he had left a package, a small packet for Edna Wilmanson and told that you should be very kind to accept that as a Christmas present. That means he had not stolen anything, but he was leaving a present for Atla Wilmanson, a Christmas present he left there. We'll continue with this part, next part tomorrow. If you have any problem, you can ask. Yes, Beta, if you have any problem, you can ask your problem.